arrived at around 11 at this big mansion on the outskirts of the city. I'd never seen anything like it in the flesh, only on the television maybe, but not up close. It was like someone's dream home, all castle on the outside with modern living on the inside. They even had a maid that showed us around the place before the family got back from the church service, and we had to put on our professional hats to keep the place secure. The first black Range Rovers began turning up outside around 11:30, and out came a steady stream of weeping older women supported by their sons and nephews. It looked a lot like any other funeral, I suppose, only this one had outfits some people's whole salaries might not be able to cover. There was more Gucci and Prada than an Italian fashion show, and I couldn't tell which reflected the sun's glare brighter, the fancy leather on the shoes or the fancy watches on their wrists. Don't ever tell me crime doesn't pay. The mood was very tense at first, as you can imagine it would be among a family full of violent gangsters, possibly even murderers. But aside from that very large aspect of the job, it was much like any other funeral for the first couple of hours. In fact, one of the hardest jobs I had in those first few hours was refusing all the drinks the Fitz family was offering. They were a wild bunch, but they grieved like any other Irish family, which meant that after all the teary-eyed tributes and hugs among the bereaved, the party started. By about 2 in the afternoon, spirits were high, music was thumping inside the house, and me and the lads were starting to wonder what we'd been worried about. We pictured some intra-family disagreements descending into mindless violence, but in reality, we were in more danger of getting hit on by drunk women in their 50s than being part of any sort of brawl. We had 4 more hours to keep guard, and these 4 hours seemed like maybe some of the easiest we'd ever worked. But then, it happened. The home's back garden was massive, and I mean truly massive. There was a big lawn, a football pitch and tennis courts combo toward one side, and the big pond and the other. We had 4 fellows surrounding the house, myself included, and then 2 inside, which we kept